Welcome back, my beautiful people. So starting off today, we are going to use for primer the Nivea Aftershave Balm. Using that all over the face and just waiting for it to get tacky before moving into foundation. For foundation today, we're using the FitMe Hydrate and Smooth mixed with the L'Oreal LUMI Glotion. But we're going to use the Joe Fresh Stick Foundation first to lighten up because my foundation is too tan for my body right now. So this is a great trick for you guys that don't have a good foundation at home, but you have a few different things. You can always mix and cocktail. So the Glotion works with the stick foundation to kind of bring some luminosity. The Fit Me foundation is my favorite, so we use that for texture, but like I said, it's a little too tan, so we're just making a cocktail here. When you dot it all over your face, the point of this is to get even coverage, so that when you start blending, everything blends together evenly on your left and your right side of your face, on your forehead and your chin, that kind of thing. So that's why I'm really taking the time to dot it everywhere. Then using the Real Techniques sponge, I'm just pressing all of that together into the face, really taking the time to mix everything together and blend it. Blend it around the hairline, the jawline, around your nose, any place you have crevices or texture. That's the thing, is after your primer, it'll smooth your face out if you have any texture or fine lines. Then you still want to really take the time to mix your foundation around and press it in. Today we're going to color correct under the eyes because I have dark circles, so using the Peach Corrector from LA Girl. And then for concealer, I'm mixing two of my favorites today, the Master Conceal and the Fit Me Concealer. So the Master Conceal's just got a little bit more coverage, the Fit Me just has more of like a nice texture. I'm mixing those together to get full coverage and a good texture. So I start by dotting it all over the face. The most product is going to go under the eyes, so I dot the most product there first, and then as you can see, after I finished dotting it everywhere else, I went back in under the eyes and smoothed it all out and made sure that it was just going to cover the full area that I wanted it to cover. So just taking the time to smooth that out. And then using the Real Techniques sponge again, we're just going to blend that in all over the face. So you really want to kind of take your time. Again, this is like the theme, is take your time with blending. Use tapping motions instead of dragging any of the products anywhere. If you use brushes, I would recommend the same thing. Tap it in before you kind of like drag anything around. I always take my concealer up over my eyelids to prep my eyes for eyeshadow and just cancel out any discoloration that I have there before going into the next step. So baking today using the Fit Me Loose Setting Powder, we're going to take copious amounts of that and just tap it in everywhere that we put concealer. So starting with those triangles under the eyes, that's where I have fine lines and wrinkles forming, so you want to put just like lots and lots of powder in those places. The forehead, if you get oily on your nose, do your whole nose, around the mouth and the smile lines. I also tap it into my chin and my upper lip. And then here, just using a fluffier brush, I'm cutting out my jawline, so under where I'm going to bronze/contour later on, and then just doing little circular motions to kind of blend the edges of that so we don't have any harsh lines. And then I just fluff it over the nose as well. Then we're going to finish off the face with a pressed powder. I use a color that's slightly darker than my foundation for this, just because all of my baking areas are very, very light, so I kind of want to start the contouring process by using a more tan shade to set around the forehead, the cheeks, to blend over the nose, and to wipe away my bake. So that's just kind of like a tip that I would suggest, is use different colors all over the face and blend them all together. It just gives to me like a more skin-like natural appearance when you just have your base on. And then for a bronzer today, I'm using the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. I wanted to show you guys here like how much time I really take with my bronzer, how much blending I do with this. This to me is a crucial step. If you don't really take the time when you're going around your hairline or your forehead or your jawline, your nose, under your lip, like wherever you're putting your bronzer/contours, if you don't really take the time with it, this is where you start to look muddy or just kind of like it's not done properly. If you take the time to really feel the bone structure in your face and, you know, suck your cheeks in and kind of take a look at what pops out, then you can really start to shape your face naturally so that it's not some crazy contour and it's overdone, but that it really enhances your natural features. Especially around the jawline, really take the time and be careful with how much product you're applying because you don't want to have a muddy jawline. In real life, it's very, very apparent if there's too much bronzer around the jawline. And then take a minute to feel yourself. Mixing a couple blushes like I usually do, or at least have been lately. The Essence Mosaic blush for a bit of color, and then the Butter blush as a blush topper, which means this is sort of like a highlight with like more blush tones. So you can't just use this as a highlight because it's too peachy, but it's a nice blush that sets you up for a killer highlight. And then talking killer highlights, the Master Chromes, you can get these at Shoppers, you can get them at Walmart, pretty much anywhere. And they're that wet look, like supermodel kind of vibe. This is a highlighter for the daredevils out there. I bathe in this stuff. This is Molten Gold, but I have the Molten Rose Gold too, and they're stunning. Stepping into eyeshadows today, we're going to use the TruNaked palette. These are some of my favorite palettes from the drugstore. I'm just using a nice transition color here, which is just a matte, neutral, or warm tone shadow that you can put into your crease and prep your eyes for any kind of shadow that you're doing, any smoke that you're doing. I'm just throwing a crease color on today, and then we're going to move on to the rest. This is a very simple, everyday look, but with 3 shadows, I'm going to show you how to take just regular day makeup up a notch. So taking like a sort of army green earth tone with a bit of shimmer in it under the eyes. This just gives you like a really pretty put together kind of contoured eye without doing a lot of work. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially for every day. And then all you have to do is throw a nice shimmer shade across the lid and this eye look is pretty much done. My favorite drugstore mascara is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I've been using this stuff for years. I love the curved wand. I think that's what it is that really does it for me the most. When you first buy it and it's brand new, it's like really wet and sort of takes a little bit more effort to build it up. But as it gets older, which is kind of gross, but as it gets older, it's just like the best mascara ever. For brows, I'm using the Essence Make Me Brow today, just doing a quick fluff of the brows to get any color from the foundation out, to kind of give them a bit more shadow. And this one has a little bit of fiber in it too, so it can kind of bolden up your brows a bit. The Essence Lip Gloss, definitely one of my faves. Happiness in a Bottle, says it all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Any questions, leave them down below, and I will see you on the next one.